Hola, bon dia.
So we had another busy week of renovations, gardening, and we were actually quite busy in the kitchen this week.
We
So,
were.
hope you enjoy the video. So, I finally finished sanding all of the wood for our door. So that means that we're ready to treat it with xylophene for the bugs and then start assembling it. So hopefully next week we'll be able to finish our door finally.
Door in the bathroom so you won't see my bum when I'm showering.
Exactly.
Nobody want to see that.
I'm starting with a 80 grit sandpaper. I find that the sandpaper discs for the orbital sander, the sandpaper seems to be better quality and it lasts longer. Of course, they do wear out on the back where it grips the Velcro on the machine. So these ones I use for sanding by hand. So what I'm doing with the 80 grit sandpaper is going through and trying to clean up any sections of the wood that have kind of rough patches, like here. And I'm also trying to get rid of any abrasion marks from the orbital sander. So you will notice though that I'm not trying to take out any of the marks from the saw blades from the sawmill because I'd like to leave some of those visible. The look I'm going for is a rustic farmhouse kind of look. So I want to keep some of the saw marks, but not the scratches from the sandpaper. So that's what I'm doing right now, just going along and eliminating any circular abrasions from the orbital sander. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to, yeah, you can't see it anymore. This one is a 120, and then this one is a 240. So the goal here is to have the surface really silky soft, but to bring out the ridges from the grain of the wood. So the darker sections is the stronger part of the wood. So that is going to stay more raised, and the lighter sections are the softer cellulose part of the wood, and that is going to sand away a little bit faster. So that's why I'm not using a sanding block. I'm just using the sandpaper with my hand so that you get more texture coming out from the grain of the wood. Okay. So this is the area here where there's lots of loose splinters here. So I need to clean this up. Sanding it isn't going to do anything. It's just going to make a mess. The sandpaper is just going to catch and then pull this. So I need to cut the opposite direction of the grain that it wants to go to remove it, and then we can go ahead and sand afterwards. So all of the wood for the door has been sanded, and I have it neatly stacked and weighted down so that it stays as straight as possible. And it's all ready to be treated with xylophene for bugs, and I'm going to do a coat of linseed oil on all of the pieces before I start to assemble them as well. So that will be my next task for tomorrow. And then we'll be building a door next week.
While Christina was sanding her wood, or polishing her wood, She asked me to make her a drink, so being a bartender for many, many years, I combined 3 drinks, and she was pretty surprised about it.
Yeah, I was expecting a panty ripper, and then I got like this fancy slushy drink.
It was a variation of the 3, a pina colada, a dirty pirate hooker, and a panty ripper.
It was delicious. It gave me
You're
brain
delicious.
freeze though.
Well, you're not supposed to drink it so fast.
But it was delicious. So he's going to teach you how to make it.
So since Christina is hand sanding her wood today and not using any power tools, she asked me to make her a drink. So I'm doing a twist on the classic pina colada, mixing it with a drink I invented, which is called the Dirty Pirate Hooker. When I was a bartender making martinis for martini night. So it's coconut rum, melon liqueur, pineapple juice, frozen pineapple, and 2 lemon juice cubes. So the 2 lemon juice cubes, about a handful of frozen pineapple, and then I put in the Malibu, about, that much. You don't want it too overpowering with that. The coconut rum is what you want the flavor with. So about that much. And then pineapple juice. I usually put about as much to the top of the pineapple, the frozen pineapple. And then I'm going to blend it. Guinea pig.
Guinea pig.
It's not as ice.
It's delicious. And what is it?
It's a dirty pirate hooker pina colada panty ripper.
Easy for you to say.
It is easy for me to say.
It's magically delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And no, we are not sponsored by Malibu rum or chili mousse, although that would be really cool. We just really enjoy coconut rum. And these coulis cups are awesome. Brain freeze.
Now get back to work.
So next we're jamming.
We're
Not
jamming.
music, though. So our Nespera, can't say that word, Nespera or Loquat tree is ready. So we've harvested some of the fruit and I have made my first attempt at making jam.
We're jamming. What you doing?
I'm attempting to make jam.
Kind of jam.
We have lots of loquat ready on our tree. So I'm making loquat jam. I've never made jam before. It said to use a potato masher, but that just seemed silly.
Are you jamming?
Yes. It's time to mash it up.
When you're jamming.
I'm jamming.
Mashing up the jam.
So the recipe said that it's going to start to look foamy, and you can see some foam around the edges. And it said to just watch it from this point, and once the foam starts to go away, that's when you take your jars and lids out of the hot water bath onto the counter, and then we can start filling the jars. Oh. Not coordinated. Huh? I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we didn't have these silicone oven mitts, I don't think I would be able to do this. Not coordinated enough.
Yeah.
And we don't have the right kind of tongs.
Mm-hmm.
These are not canning tongs.
Let me see your tongs. Your tongue to tongue, tongue, tongue.
Oh, I forgot to stir mine.
Mm-hmm. You multitasking?
Apparently not very good. Okay, now leave that on for once we get the gin in there.
We're jamming.
Okay, and take a look at this. Pretty much all of the foam is gone now.
Woo!
So I think we are ready to start pouring it in the jars. And hopefully not all over the counter.
We'll see.
We'll see. Jam on the side of that one. Okay, now we're supposed to put them back in the boiling water. Should I throw the other one in anywhere or do it after?
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
do it after. Okay, so they're supposed to be in there for 10 minutes. So these two have popped already. We're just waiting on these three. So we kind of got out of the habit of drinking lemon ginger tea. So I finally made a batch and I thought I would share with you guys how we make it. It's really good as an anti-inflammatory, and yeah, we just generally feel better when we drink it every day.
It keeps the bugs away.
It keeps the bugs away.
It's good to keep mosquitoes away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. It's the lemon.
Okay, cool. And it's delicious. So I'm going to make some lemon ginger tea with turmeric and black peppercorns. Normally I would use fresh turmeric root, but we don't have any at the moment, so I'm going to use the powder. And the reason that you use black peppercorns in this is the black peppercorns allow your body to use the cumin properly, the turmeric. I don't have a lot of the powder left in there either, so I'm going to rinse that out with water when I top up everything in the pot. So the ginger is clean. I'm just going to slice it thinly and add it to the pot. So no need to skin the ginger as long as it's clean. And you can either wash it or peel it, whatever you prefer. So the sliced ginger going into the pot. And the juice from 1 lemon. And normally I would put about 1 to 2 inches of ginger root and 1 to 2 inches of turmeric root chopped up in here. So I'm just using the powdered turmeric. Okay, and then we're just going to top the rest up with water. All right. Okay, we're starting to get some action in there. There we go. So now you can see everything is moving. You have a nice rolling boil there. So we're going to turn the gas off and just let it sit. Yeah. So I started making our lemon ginger tea yesterday, and now it has sat overnight, so we're ready to strain it. Like that. And now I'm going to transfer some of it into, oh apparently the bottom was not on all the way.
Okay.
So I still got it everywhere. So we were also busy in the garden this week. I had lots of seedlings that needed to be transplanted, so I've taken care of that.
We built a passive watering collection system for one of the trees to test it out using the dew from the morning. So we get a little bit of cloud cover here in the morning usually before the sun is totally up to burn it off, and we get a lot of dew buildup. So I built a system tested a system to collect water for our trees, but only at one to see if it worked.
Yeah, so we'll show you what it looks like and how it's working. So we also needed more mulch for the garden, so we went down to the river and collected some more reed grass. And while Grant was collecting reed grass, I spotted this little guy, and a quick Google search told me it was an Iberian emerald lizard. Eventually, I would like all of my herbs to be in my kitchen garden, which will be in this top terrace once it's finished. So for now, this little guy needs to be transplanted. So we have been using the universal soil from the Agrologia, and I'm using my lovely shovel that I got for free. I found it on the beach. We have quite a few in that tiny little pot, and they are fairly root bound because I should have transplanted them earlier than this. But let's try to separate them. We got 6 little plants out of this tiny little pot. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more soil in there and water them in really well. So I am very carefully removing some of the plant plugs from this tray into this container so that I can transplant them into the trellis garden. So my field greens or lamb's lettuce is doing really well. And we have our first nasturtium flower. And my scarlet runner beans are finally climbing.
They're finally running.
They're finally running. And the lettuce is looking really good in the middle there. It's starting to get a little bit of shade from the beans and the radishes.
I'll prevent it from bolting.
Hopefully. It's the plan. There's a method to my madness.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely madness.
I've drilled some holes in the bottom of these containers. This one is the purple basil. This one is oregano, but I had a lot of oregano, so this one is also oregano. And I'm about to do the potatoes. The tomatoes. I think I'm supposed to pull the 2 little leaves at the bottom off and then bury it more. Same with this one, so just these two bottom leaves.
Take the next two
the
off
next
too.
two as well.
Yeah, bury it right up to the next set of leaves. Leaf anyway. All the little hairs on the tomato will turn into roots on the stalk.
Just have to put more dirt in, that's all. And that is how you end up with stronger tomato plants.
Mm-hmm. Or dead ones.
Or dead ones? What? So we have our first peas. We have some more flowers on our passion fruit. And this one looks like it's going to open soon. And this one is starting to open as well. So hopefully we get lots of fruit off of this.
More than our 2 mini ones last year.
Yeah, we got 2 little tiny ones last year, but they were delicious.
They were actually.
So most mornings are like this, very foggy. It's already after 7 o'clock in the morning, so a lot of the mist and fog has already lifted. And it was like this pretty much all summer last year. So I decided to use some of the green mesh fabric that was left in one of the outbuildings, and I cut a square of the mesh and hung it from the clothesline overnight to see if some of this mist would collect on the screen and then drip down to the ground. And it did. So that's why we decided to experiment and build a mesh screen as a self-watering system for the trees. So once the sun comes out and burns off some of this fog, we'll go take a look at the difference between the trees and see if it worked.
So this is our water collecting screen from the mist that comes up in the morning. And you can see literally the difference between this one, all the growth on it, how green it is. Haven't done anything different except put this screen in. And then this one has no screen, so it's not getting daily watering basically every morning. And you can see the difference, the brown leaves.
Here, yeah, let's take a closer look here. It doesn't have a ton of
growth.
Yeah, so the leaves look a little bit like brown and shriveled almost.
Yeah, like it's lacking water, right?
Yeah, and compared with, sorry, I'm going to go back up to this one because the leaves on this one look, yeah, you can see the difference. They're nice and green and lush, and there's no leaves that look dry or anything.
So basically like a passive
watering system.
Passive drip system, right? It
Yeah.
collects the water on the screen in the morning and runs down and basically waters the plant every morning.
Yeah. So I guess we have to make a couple of new screens.
Make a bunch of new screens and then we can see what happens.
Yeah. And then this one
has almost nothing on it.
Yeah. This is the one that we thought died, and it still only has one tiny leaf at the top. And it looks like it's quite dry. So we finally met some of our subscribers in person this week, which was pretty cool. So I'd like to send out a special thank you to Maria Esperanza and her husband Alicio. We enjoyed a beautiful afternoon with them at the Praia do Pedregal beach, And thank you so much for lunch. It was really good, but I think even more so, we enjoyed the company. So usually we don't really go out much. It's just the two of us, and it's nice to talk to other people.
Muito obrigado.
Not that I don't like talking to you, but it's nice to socialize. So it was very much appreciated, and we hope to see you again soon.
And also a very special thanks to George for meeting us today. It was today.
It was today.
For lunch. And we look forward to getting up to your place possibly this coming week. And also thanks for the cookies.
Yes. So, on top of treating us to lunch, George brought us a box of cookies. So, we're going to get into those now.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to try and show them without dumping it.
Yeah, good luck.
Ah, those look delicious. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Muito obrigada. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up for this week. Thank you for joining us. Please give our video a like. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. It really does help us. And if you feel like donating, we do have a super thanks on our channel. But yeah, liking, sharing, and commenting and subscribing is a huge help. So thanks to all of our subscribers. Have a great week, and we'll catch you next weekend.
Okay, bye.